Ngayon yung sinasabi nyo, ang inyong allocation na 150 million lang. Totoo ba ho yun?
Parang hindi ko po depende po siguro sa district o kaya po depende po sa magaling ang congressman, pero sa amin po kung ano lang po ang dumating, yun lang po ang pinagkakasya namin.
Ano ho yung dumating? Magkano ho yung dumating?
Eh minsan po mga do sa amin local o kung tawagin po LIP, minsan mga 120 po, minsan depende po. Kasi po, Justice Sir, mas interesado po kami doon sa mga pangangailangan ng aming mamayan. Halimbawa po na makarequest kami sa ospital, sa DSWD. Doon po sa infrastructure, isinasubmit po namin yung sa barangay at saka po sa bayan. Pagka po na-budgetan, edi...
So sinasabi nyo sa akin, meron kayong mga request. Meron kayong mga request sa DPWH na isama sa...
Doon po namin tinuturo yung mga leader namin na doon po yung mga kapitan po, yung mga organikong mga leader, mga kapitan. Na kasi po may mga proseso po kinakailangan kung gusto nilang matayuan ng barangay o ng health center o ng covered courts, meron pong donasyon ang mga lupa. Wala naman po kaming kakayahang mag-validate.
Hindi ba ho, yung barangay, bibigyan kayo ng project. Ganun ba ho, ang sinasabi nyo?
Ano po?
Yung barangay, bibigyan kayo ng budget na kayo ng gusto.
Magre-request po sila.
Tapos kayo naman, magre-request kayo sa Congress.
Opo,
sa budget
sa
na yun.
appropriations po na makasama
So,
po.
pero kayo mga copy ng mga request nyo sa Congress?
Yung pong mga nire-request po ng mga barangay, may mga kopya po yun.
May kopya kayo. So, yun sa inyong request, kasama niyo yung request ng barangay, 120 million lang ang umaabot.
Maaari po.
Hindi ba ho 800 million ang natatanggap ng First District ng Laguna?
Ay, yun po ay kung halimbawa pong gaana. Hindi ko po kasi, una-una, hindi po ako...
Kasi sa tinigal namin ito kakatulong sa congressman, karamihan walang 150. Ang natatanggap nila 600, 800 million.
Hindi po,
Nagtataka ko sa inyo, ba't sinasabi nyo 150 lang yung natatanggap
yun
ninyo?
na po siguro po sir, yun na po yung GAA, yung kabuuan.
So yung sinikwento
Yun
mo
po,
sa
kasama
amin,
na po yung budget po siguro ng DPWH. Pero doon po sa amin, yung pong mga local improvement projects, yun po yun.
so mali yung statement nyo kasi pinapalabas nyo, 150 lang yung sa inyo. Yung sinasabi nyo, pag bigaan na, tumata sa 800 million. Ganun ba ho?
Ah, ah, Your Honor, ang akala ko po kasi ang tinatanong yung pong local improvement project. Pero yung po bahagi na po ng GAA yun. Pagka po na-budgetan na po yung request po ng mga barangay o kaya po ng isang munisipyo, bahagi na po yun ng GAA. At kung yung pong GAA ay halimbawa po isang 1 billion or 1.2 billion, kasama po yung doon po sa...
So sa sinasabi niyo 1.2 billion, sa 1.2 inyo doon, 150 million ang request ninyo.
regular po yung 120 na inaabot po ng gano'n.
Sino nagdadagdag ng 800 million?
Hindi ko po, hindi ko po alam yung...
Hindi nyo alam na dagdag na kayo ng 150 naging 1.2 billion.
Hindi ko po alam yun, Your Honor, kasi hindi po ako miyembro ng appropriations o ng BICAM. Basta po yan, ay nagsisimula po sa NEP, sinasama po yung request ng mga barangay po o ng munisipyo do sa aming lugar, yung po 16,294 barangays.
Ibig sabihin na naglagay sila ng project sa inyo na worth 900 million, hindi nyo alam na may ng project sa lugar ninyo.
Your Honor, DPWS po kasi nagsasubmit nun eh.
So hindi nyo alam na gumagalaw sa distrito nyo yung 900 million na project.
Eh pagka po gaana po, nalalaman po namin kasi ang
Sabi kayo hindi nyo alam.
alam kung, kasi sa amin po, Your Honor, regular po ang aming budget. Katulad po ng nauna kong sinabi, kami po ay ordinaryong distrito, ordinaryong congressman. At kung yun nga po sinasabi ko, kung yung mga malalaking budget ng mga pinag-uusapan na nagkaroon ng mga skandalo kung mapapapunta po sa amin. So, hindi ko po alam talaga yung mga, kung halimbawa po may mga ibang budget pong dumarating sa amin. Mas interesado lang po kami doon sa aming local projects. Kaya hindi ko po alam yung
So lumalabas yung inyong project, 150 million lang. Yan na yung allocation nyo, 1.2 billion. Hindi nyo alam yung mga project na yun. Wala kayong pakialam doon. Yun ba yun ho, nakikita ko na sinasabi ninyo eh.
Hindi po,
Tama ba yung intindi ko ho?
hindi po kami nakikialam po doon. Doon sa sagaan na
Hindi kayo nakikialam, ba't alam niyo may ganun?
opo, pwede po. Kasi nga po, Your Honor, yun po ay pagdating po sa katulad po ng sinagot ko kanina, executive na po kasi ang may-ari. Pagkatapos po ng aming trabaho na maipasa po ang budget hanggang sa BICAM po na hindi naman po ako miyembro noon hanggang po sa joint session na ma-aproba na po ang budget at mapirmahan po ng Pangulo. Hindi na po sa congressman yun na po ay sa executive na po.
Hindi kayo nagreklamo sa gobyerno o sa Congress na ba't tumaas yung request to 1.2 billion tapos hindi nyo alam? Hindi kayo sinasabihan? Hindi kayo nagreklamo sa otoridad ng Kongreso?
Your Honor, nagre-reklamo po ako pero hindi po dahil sa nadagdagan kundi kulang po.
So kulang pa yung 1.2 billion sa inyo?
Ay sa lalaki po ng aming distrito.
Mr. Chairman, may follow up your point na. Congressman, babasahin ko lang kung medyo matatandaan nyo itong mga just 2025. Alam niyo ho ba na may river control structures sa Barangay Wawa, Lumban, Laguna worth 48.9 million?
Maaari po.
Okay. Meron po kayong alam na meron pang isang river control structure along Pagsanghan River, Lumban Section, 48.9 million. Alam niyo ba kung anong kumpanya ni Mariano?
Hindi ko po.
Can you give us information about the construction company of Mr. Mariano if your staff
Wala
can...
po. Pero kung kinakailangan,
Submit nyo na lang ho sa amin.
Opo. Wala po.
Okay, meron pang, kasi ang malalaki sa inyo ho, puros karamihan flood control eh. Meron pong isang 93.5 million again dun sa barangay Mulawin, Pagsanghan, Laguna. 93.5. Meron pang isang river control structure along Pagsanghan River, 93.5 million din. Another contractor. So, sa madalit sabi, meron pong mga malalaking flood control projects. Ito pa isa, river control structure, Santa Cruz, Laguna, 70 million. My suggestion, if you don't mind, paki-monitor nyo nga ito. Can you give us, we'll give you 7 working days to let us know the status, sino yung contractor nitong mga flood control projects. Kasi marami pong nangyari, alam nyo naman, sa flood control, we just want to be able to make sure na tama yung mga projects ng flood control doon sa distrito nyo at ginagawa ng according to specifications. Hindi sila ghost.
Opo, Your Honor. Sa totoo lang po, ang haba po ng aming mga ilog. Ano po? Ang haba po ng aming mga ilog, ang dami po namin ilog. Talaga pong kailangan po namin kasi hindi lang naman po para sa baha yung flood control, kundi para wag pong lumawak yung mga ilog.
Meron pa nga isa dito sa FAMI naman, flood control river structure din. Lahat ng malalaking projects po ninyo nasa flood control, no? Flood control sa Pangil, Laguna, 93.5 million. Construction of flood control, Santa Cruz, Laguna, 93.5 million.
Alamin ko po, Your Honor.
Sige, and then give us the details on the status, sino yung contractor, at we want to find out sino yung kunin nyo, no? Baka hindi nyo lang alam, nakapasok na pala yung sa distrito nyo.
Opo, Your Honor.
Kaya sila nagsasabi na may naghingi ng advance dun sa distrito ninyo. Yun lang ang gusto kong dagdag.
Thank you for that information. Tuloy ho tayo, Congressman.
Opo, Justice.
So sa 2025 po, ano yung magkano yung inyong GAA?
Hindi, wala pong, pasensya na po, Your Honor. Hindi po ako pong congressman noon, kaya hindi ko po.
Hindi, itong 2025, di ba?
Ngayon po.
Ano GAA ninyo ngayon?
Hindi, parang wala pa pong malinaw kasi nagbabudget hearing pa po ang Senate. Parang nag-iiba-iba po, kaya hindi po namin masabi kung ano po official na lalabasan ng GAA po ng district GAA na sa wala pa po kasi hindi pa po tapos, Your Honor. Ito pong panahon ito.
Yung kanina tinuro sa inyo ni Commissioner Singson, parang nakikita ko, hindi nyo alam na meron pa kayo mga flood control projects sa dito.
Hindi naman po, Your Honor. Yung nga lang po, hindi po kasi kami nag-i-implement yan. Hindi po, kung meron po kami mga ganyang project, DPWH po kasi ang mas makakapagpaliwanag po niyan kaysa po sa inyong congressman.
I think ganun na nga yung naging problema natin. No? Maraming mga pinalusot na mga project sa distrito na yung district, sitting congressional district, halos sabihin ko ng hindi pinakialaman, tinanggap na lang, at kung ano man yung ginawa ng DPWH, whether district office yan, regional office yan, hindi na pinintindi. No? Kaya maraming nangyaring hocus-pocus. No? Maraming anomalya, maraming kickback, maraming ghost. No? So sana matignan nyo po sa distrito.
Alamin ko po at makikipag-usap po ako. Kasi ang alam ko po, nung magkaroon po naman ganyan, ang PNP naman po, Army at saka NBIA, nagbisita po sa buong Pilipinas sa mga district tungkol po sa flood control. Di alamin ko po, Your Honor, kung ano po yung findings nila.
Maulit ako, no? Yung budget nyo, 1.2 billion, ang request nyo, 150. Sabi sa akin kanina, may time na nagalit kayo, ba't lumaki? Hindi ba? Sabi niyo kanina.
Hindi po. Hindi po ako nagagalit, Your Honor. Nagagalit po ako, hindi po dahil sa lumaki, kundi maliit po. Kasi sa laki nga po ng district namin, palagay ko po, mas may pangangailangan po kami dahil yung pong district ko, iwan na iwan po sa mula lungsod ng San Pedro hanggang San Pablo kasi wala po kaming city. Yung pong, kung umabot po ng 1.2, ngayon hindi ko po alam kung aabot kami ng 1.2 dahil nga po sa hindi pa tapos ang budget. Magpapasalamat po kami pero kulang po ang budget mo.
Kasi yung anak ninyo nasa ang congresswoman, hindi rin nyo alam mo magkano yung mga budget na natanggap niya o inirequest niya.
Hindi po kasi ako nakikialam doon po sa panunungkulan ng aking anak, Your Honor. Hindi po ako nakikialam.
Kaya lang dito, hindi ka rin nakikialam sa amount dahil hindi nyo alam na meron palang flood control na binibigay sa probinsya ninyo. Di ba? Ganun ang sinasabi nyo? Hindi rin kayo nakikialam.
Buong Laguna, buong Pilipinas naman po yan kasi nga po, project po ng DPWH yan. Ngayon po, yan po ay kung meron pong dumating sa amin, pinaproseso po ng DPWH yan. Doon po, hindi po kami nakikialam kasi ibibidin po yan, i-implement po yan.
So hindi nga kayo nakikialam dun sa ibang project?
Ay, hindi po.
Tsaka hindi nyo alam din?
Ay, alam ko po, pero hindi po ako nakikialam.
Alam nyo lahat o alam mo yung konti na?
Hindi ko po... ano po ba? Hindi ko po masagot.
Hindi, alam ba nyo yung kabuuan ng project sa inyo o di mo alam mo? O alam mo yung konti lang alam mo? Kasi hindi ko maintindihan kung alam mo, hindi mo alam eh.
Alam ko po, Your Honor.
So alam mo lahat? Yung buong 1.2 billion, alam nyo lahat yun?
Opo, kasi po, yun po naman ay sinasubmit po sa Sa Congress
Sa GAA.
po. Sa NEP po muna, sa NEP. Sa NEP po
Sa
muna.
NEP, akala ko sa
maging-
NEP 150 lang ang
Ay, yun po yung
pinapasok.
local projects po yun, Your Honor.
Oo.
Yung pong mga nire-request namin. Pero ang nagsasubmit po ay ang DPWH, pagdating po naman sa mga farm to market, ang DA, kung ano man po, kung ano man po, ang implementing program, yun po yung NEP na kasama. Yung pong sa DPWH, yun po, umaabot po yun minsan ng 900 o 1.2. O kung ano po ang nire-request ng DE at saka ng region po sa secretary, kung ano po ang lalabas doon sa NEP. Pagkatapos po ng NEP, yun po, pupunta po yung sa GAA. Hindi naman po namin pinapakalman na yun
So
kasi
yung karamihan ng 1.2 billion, nasa NEP na. Sa umpisa pa lang.
hindi ko po alam ang proseso, Your Honor, kasi hindi
Sabi
po...
nyo kayo na nasa NEP na hindi.
Opo, sa NEP po yun, pero...
Kaya nga nasa NEP na yung sinasabi nyo.
Opo.
Kasi kanina na parang kayo nabibigla na ang NEP 150 lang eh.
Hindi po, Your
Yung
Honor.
pala yung NEP 1.2 billion na.
The participation of Land Bank in this process starts with the budget implementation. Earlier, we were also requested to make a briefer or presentation even with the budget processing, but we respectfully pointed out that the budget processing does not involve Land Bank itself. So Land Bank's participation starts with the budget implementation, which is the period within which the funds are being released to the national government agencies. So Land Bank's participation is twofold. One, with regard to the disbursement of funds from the modified disbursement system of the Department of Budget and Management, and at the same time, as depository bank of various government suppliers and creditors. So I start with Land Bank's role in the disbursement of funds from the modified disbursement system. As you know, the Department of Budget and Management issues the notice of cash allocation directly to Land Bank, which serves as basis to assign book balances to the national government agencies' sub-accounts for the modified disbursement system. Now, from the notice of cash allocation issued to Land Bank, this notice of cash allocation is also furnished to the central office of the national government agency, which in our case is the Department of Public Works and Highways. Out of the notice of cash allocation, the central office of the DPWH issues a notice of transfer allocation to its various regional offices and operating units.
This is the NTA.
Yes, NTA, or Notice of Transfer Allocation. Now, based on the
with the phase and none of the sun. Make my world bright light. It makes me perfect.
going back to the notice of cash allocation, these are credited to various MDS sub-accounts of DPWH, wherein the bank validates the hash totals on the validation report and actual documents are checked. Now, on the part of the national government agency, specifically the regional offices and operating units, they issue the necessary advices. This may either be advice of checks issued and canceled in those cases where it issues checks chargeable against the modified disbursement system. It can also be through the issuance of the list of due and demandable accounts payable, advice to debit account, or what we call LDDAP-ADA. And these documents are dated by the Land Bank branches for processing. Now, the advice of check issued and canceled for MDS check issuance, this serve as basis for the bank to clear the checks in case these checks are negotiated later on by the government suppliers or creditors. On the part of the list of due and demandable accounts payable and advice to debit account, this serves as basis for the branch to issue the debit advice so that this will be the proceeds of which shall be credited to the account of the supplier or creditor which it has with the bank. The crediting should be done not later than 24 hours from the bank's receipt of the advice of list of due and demandable accounts payable and advice to debit account issued and canceled, but not beyond 48 hours from the bank's receipt of the said document. Now,
These are all done electronically. No more physical checks under LDAP.
Commissioner, there are two ways.
Okay.
There, of course, is the electronic way, which is digital, but there could also be a request for checks. So there are various ways for them to be paid. They could get a credit to their account, or they could also request for checks.
Proceed,
okay,
please.
yeah, if I may continue, the Land Bank head office, we have this department consolidating the negotiated checks as well as the list of due and demandable accounts payable or advice to debit accounts. And these are being submitted regularly to the Bureau of the Treasury. Now, This also serves as basis for the bank to request for replenishment of the Bureau of the Treasury's seed fund being maintained with the bank, just to ensure that succeeding modified disbursement system disbursements will also be fully funded later on. Now, on the right side, if we'll just illustrate the usual transaction that happens with the regional office of the DPWH. Number one, issuance of funds. TBM issues the NCA, which Land Bank Head Office credits to the DPWH mother account maintained at Land Bank branch. And then DPWH Central Office issues the notice of transfer allocation to the various DPWH district engineering offices.
Excuse me, what triggers that NTA again to directly to the district?
Yeah, as I was saying, the notice of cash allocation is being issued directly by the DBM to Land Bank.
Okay.
In turn, the DBM issues advice of notice of cash allocation issued to the central office of the DPWH.
Central.
Yes.
Who then authorizes the release to the district office?
Yeah, that serves as basis for the head office of the DPWH to in turn issue the notice of transfer allocation.
The NTA is coming from the head office of DPWH directing Land Bank to release the amounts to the DEOs.
That's correct.
That is under an NTA also? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think as you know, into the whole process, that's where I personally want to focus on. You know, what happens at the district office. Because under DBM rules, the district office is the implementing agency already for those releases under NCA, NTA. Similar to one central office of the other agencies of government. But in this particular case of DPWH, the implementing agency, as far as DBM concerned, and for that matter, releases of funds from the Land Bank is the District Engineering Office.
Right.
Diba?
Yes.
Okay. Sige, go ahead please.
Now, in addition to the instruction to the bank to issue the funds to the district engineering offices of the DPWH, the notice of transfer allocation also serves as basis for the district engineering office to issue the advice of checks issued and cancelled, or the list of due and demandable accounts payable, advice to debit account, as the case may be.
So check or electronic advice.
Yes. Now, when these documents are received by the branch personnel, these are being verified and uploaded in the bank's own system through its Land Bank tellering system. In accordance with...
When you say verified, what is verified? Signatories, persons, amounts, what does Land Bank verify in particular? Signatories lang ba?
Your Honor, if I may
Yeah,
answer
please.
that, please. When we do the document and identity verification, the client presents the withdrawal slip or the check to us. And then we will verify the
Again, the
signature.
client, when you say client, contractor, supplier,
The contractor, sir. Yes,
hindi
sir.
na DPWH yan.
It's the contractor, sir.
Contractor na,
Yes, sir.
that has either been issued a check or
Or credited to the account, sir. So in that case, if it's credited to the account, they are using passbook. So they will present to us the withdrawal slip, and based on the withdrawal slip, we will verify the signature based on that, and
So-
also check the balances.
okay, so the verification is only on the signatories, authorized ba yung taong yan, and the balance, kung may balance pa yung office
Yes,
na
sir.
yun.
Yes, sir. But I have a complete process flow in the succeeding slide.
Okay, okay.
If you may
Maybe
allow
I'm
me.
jumping the gun already.
Commissioner, sorry if I may. I think we split the presentation in two parts. The first part, of course, is how we deal from DBM to DPWH to the district engineering offices and the submission. So I understand your question, Commissioner. What do we verify insofar as what DPWH submits to us? So we do check everything that DPWH submits to ensure that it is compliant with all of the agreed processes that we have in place. So, Cesar, do you want to add to that?
Yes, ma'am. Now, on the documents being submitted to the branch, we were discussing the advice of checks issued and canceled, as well as the list of due and demandable accounts payable, advice to debit account. What are being verified are, of course, the signatories. As you know, these two documents are considered to be accountable documents, and these have to be signed by the authorized signatories of the agency. Second, we also verify by checking on the hash totals, so that the amounts actually correspond to what was indicated in the notice of cash allocation.
Commissioner, this is the reason why we are given 24 to 48 hours to review and verify all the documents, after which the credits are then processed to the respective accounts of the engineering offices.
Yeah. So, funds to be released through the list of due and demandable accounts payable and authority or advice to debit account will have to be credited to the accounts of the creditor or supplier with the bank within a period not exceeding 48 hours from the bank's receipt of the document. Now, with regard to funds being disbursed through the issuance of modified disbursement system checks, the crediting will actually depend on when these checks are being negotiated by the payees.
May I ask at this point, what would be some red flags as far as land bank is concerned? Maybe I'm already jumping the gun, baka nasa ibang explanation.
Insofar as the government fund disbursement process is concerned, I believe that there are no red flags in this process. This has been in place since 1990. That has now, of course, been moved to MDM. So we don't think there are any red flags insofar as the actual government process is concerned. But we do have some commentary or inputs on the second phase, which we can go through. Yeah, thank you, sir. Cesar, is there anything else?
Yes. When it comes to this entire process that I mentioned, there's a lot of controls provided by the applicable issuances issued by the Department of Budget and Management. So, in our case, we did not actually identify any red flag. For one, the funds are supposedly to be or required to be credited directly to the accounts of the suppliers or creditors having accounts with the bank. Even with the issuance of modified disbursement system checks, the DBM circular letter requires that this be directly credited to the accounts of these payees. So there are no instances wherein these checks have been encashed by persons.
Other than the supplier.
Yeah, and in fact, this cannot also be encashed by these suppliers themselves as they are for direct credit only to their deposit accounts.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the next part or the next role of land bank will also be with regard to being depository bank of the suppliers or creditors.
Mandatory yan, mandatory that they open an account with
So-
government bank, either land bank or...
Actually, Commissioner, it is really not mandatory for the contractors or suppliers to open a with government institutions. But I believe that it was encouraged actually, just so that it would be easier insofar as verification, and because in the process, when a contractor or a supplier opens an account with the bank, there is a letter of introduction that comes from the DPWH, and that is the first document that is the basis for opening an account. With your permission, Commissioner, our head of branch banking, Lou, will take us through. Yes, sir.
Yes, that's my idea that the contractors should have an account with you. But I was told that it is bad for the banking industry because you are cornering the money, and it will be not to the liking of the BAP.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I believe in the free market.
So you
Chair.
can force them.
Certainly not. I believe that it's very good for competition amongst banks, so that whoever has the best service then wins in terms of, the preference of the individual or the supplier or the contractor, sir.
Is this done in the other countries like the United States?
I believe, sir, that there is free.
Also
it's
free.
That's
There's no
free.
force accounts to be open.
I don't think there will be. I don't think you can compel a private individual to open an account with any one institution.
But don't you think the government has the right that the contractor should open an account and maintain that account throughout the project?
Insofar as which institution, I think that's open, sir, to free market and forces in the market. But I do think that the scrutiny, I support you there, Chair, that the scrutiny around what should be provided in terms of information can be required or demanded by the DPWH, because it's the DPWH in this case that in the first place accredits all those contractors. So while there is bank secrecy and you cannot maybe go through the full detail of how those accounts are being managed, I do think that the DPWH or the agency has every right to request for information from their contractors as they see fit. Because the accreditation process in the first place, the awarding of those contractors will come from the respective agency, sir.
But then the government can impose such a rule that during the entirety of the project, you must maintain an account.
I believe
with
so,
the bank.
sir. I mean, if the agency or the government chooses to require that, I believe so, sir.
And that could be part of free enterprise. Don't you think so? Because that's government money. It's not private money.
I think we need to further review that, sir. We need to further study that. Yeah.
Okay, turn over the floor.
Thank you,
I
Chair.
think what is required of government agencies is that you cannot open an account other than a government bank. No, that's for sure.
Yes,
But
sir.
the question is, because what we're finding out is made directly to private banks, and the contractor at the end of the day just reports what they want to report in their ITRs. That's why one of the recommendations of the commission is, okay, if you don't want to open, if the contractor does not want to open an account with the government institution or government bank, at least all transactions or funds released by that bank to the contractor has to be recorded and advised to the government agencies, whether it's BIR or SEC, or because that's where we're finding there's a lot of leakage happening in income tax returns of contractors. That's the point I think the chairman wants to plug, while we're still at this high level process and these transactions.
We understand, Commissioner. Yeah, we understand, Chair.
Sir, di sa video tayo sir pa kayo ang sama bumbo at yung abot. Tanay abi sa duha. Pero yung tanong stopper.
With your permission,
Hindi ko na call no. Tangan tayo stopper sa ang. Preso to lang duro sir kay.
Ne, ne.
Sir, preso lang duro ka. Natardik kaya ko like that. Ha? Eh? Di, napaw mo ganit niya ko.
sir, if we could go through perhaps the
Tapos ano, sa state ng Sunday, di pa bumbu.
Account opening and the process flows and the controls that we have in place, if that's
That-
right. That's
Yes,
correct.
sir.
I would not even go there because that will be all mechanical, right? My question is, you get the money from DBM. The DBM gives you the money for the DPWH.
So DBM chair will allocate it to the respective agencies through MDS, the modified disbursement account,
So,
from, yes.
So DBM will inform DPWH first.
So there will be, sir, a notice of cash allocation, which serves as land bank's basis to then credit the accounts of the respective agencies. In this case, DPWH's modified disbursement accounts. And then DPWH has sub-accounts, and in those sub-accounts, it then branches out to the respective district engineering offices.
No, my question is the DPM would inform the public works that there's a check with Land Bank, or Land Bank will be the one to inform DPWH.
Okay.
If I
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yes, if I may, sir. Just for clarity before I answer your question, the MDS or the modified disbursement system of the government is not a regular account, sir. It's not a deposit account. It's just a contingent account that is being allocated per agency. So when there's a budget given by the government by January. So that's according to the agencies. And then agencies through their central office, in the case of DPWH, will coordinate with the DBM on the issuance of the notice of cash allocation. So this is from the central office, specifically for a certain project. And based on this NCA, the central office will submit documents to Land Bank for us to be